This is how you're gonna get princess treatment from every man in 2024. I love the quote, standing on business, because that's exactly what we're doing. Getting princess treatment from any man is as simple as politely standing on business. You don't wanna stand on business in an ugly way, which is what most people do, which I'll explain that in a moment. Politely standing on business is like being a wall. You cannot go through the wall. You cannot do any of that. If you simply want to get to the other side, you need to go around the wall. It's that simple. You don't crack. You don't move out of the way. Nothing. And if a man never does that for you, then great, you won. Either way, in this situation, if you're politely standing on business, you win. Either the man that you want treats you exactly the way that you want to be treated, or you find another man who does. The way you do this politely is by using your eyes. Don't use words with men like you don't, you never, I wish that you would, you should. If you want him to open the door for you, you just simply stand in front of the door and smile. If you guys are on a date and you want him to open the door for you, sit in the car and do not get out until he opens the door for you. And these idiots might ask you, are you okay? Is the door working fine? And you'll say, yes, but I love when you open the door for me, baby. And you look at him and you smile, and that's it. He wants to please you. He wants to make you happy. No man wants to be annoying. Y'all are rudely standing on business. He doesn't open the door for you and you're just like, oh, these guys on TikTok are buying these girls Chanel bags and Birkin bags. You can't even open the door for me? And then he's mad, and then it's not cute for the two of you.
Guys, this is so important and it could save you years of your life. Let's talk about redefining potential. Because something I see so often with my clients is that they don't know the true definition of potential. Let me give you an example. A girl starts dating a guy, and on the first date, he tells her, you watch, in 5 to 10 years, I'm gonna be driving a Lamborghini and I'm gonna live in a mansion. You just watch, I will get there. So she's like, oh, this guy has potential. They start dating, and she gets to see his everyday life. He seems to spend a lot of time playing video games. He seems to not have a job. He still lives with his mom. And despite seeing all of this, she will still think that this guy has potential. Because he told her that one day he was gonna have a Lamborghini and a mansion. And of course, that is the type of man that she wishes he could be. So she convinces herself that this guy has potential. I've seen it over and over and over again. A lot of you ladies think that potential is him becoming the type of man you wish he could be. You think to yourself, oh my gosh, I wish I had a romantic, caring, hardworking, rich husband. But instead, you go for nonchalant guys that don't treat you well, are lazy, and are broke. And again, yet you convince yourself that there's potential there. And even though you go for the complete opposite, you still think, oh yes, one day he's gonna be truly romantic and he's gonna be hardworking and he's gonna be rich. Where are you getting that from? What has he shown you that he will ever become that? Seeing a man's potential is seeing his current actions and how he lives life right now. Because those things are what is going to predict how he will be living in 5 years, who he will be in 5 years. Now, if you meet a guy that has a goal that is consistent, that is disciplined, hardworking, generous, romantic, loving, a man with those qualities does have a lot of potential of becoming highly successful. And depending on what age he is, he probably already is successful. So stop lying to yourself, stop being delusional in your head about the guy that you're dating. See him for who he actually is. And please do yourself a favor and stop being delusional that one day you're gonna wake up and he is magically going to be romantic and he's going to be a provider and he's going to want to spoil you and he's going to respect you and he's going to be highly successful. Because girl, it's not gonna happen. And the only thing that delusion is gonna do for you is keep you in a relationship that you do not want to be in.
I'm gonna get some hate for this one, but there is no such thing as 50-50 in a relationship. 50-50 is something that men invented because they know that they can put in the effort when they want to and they can step away when they want to. Oh, we should go 50-50 on bills, on household expenses. Oh, why don't you work also? That way we can go 50-50 on all of these things that I don't want to have to pay for entirely. They can choose when they want to put the effort in. Women do not have that choice, which is why it's not fair. Women are tasked 100% both physically and emotionally with pregnancy, with feeding a baby, with caring for them, especially especially in those very, very young years, that is a huge responsibility that is borne only onto our backs. Like, we literally have to do all of that. So no, thank you. 50-50 does not work for me. I will say that with my chest. It shouldn't. A man's responsibility is to take care of the woman, and a woman's responsibility is to basically take care of society, because you have to raise kids and you have to create a network and do all of these different things. And without us, there would be no society. There would be no other people. So sorry. No, thank you very much. I will not be going 50-50.
Can we please talk about how hard dating is, especially texting men?
Ladies, more often than not, and listen, not always, okay? I said it, so you don't have to. More often than not, when a man is smitten, he craves to hear your voice. Your voice will do for him what nothing else can. And so if you find yourself having these half behind text conversations more often than he's making an effort to see you or hear your voice, I think you can go ahead and skip that one. If you sense that he is actually interested and you would like to give him a little nudge, what you can say very playfully, very sweetly, not aggressively, send a voice note, put on your sweet voice, and say, "I'd really love to hear your voice." If that's not enough for him to call you, next.
If you want to be a girly who has that really sweet, loving relationship with her man, and he's always willingly doing things for her and pursuing her, even after they've been together for years, you have to stay playful and make him feel like he doesn't have like a full grasp on you. I am like the sweetest, cutest girl alive when I'm with my fiance, but I love to mix in a little bit of sass, a little bit of attitude, be a little bit mischievous just to keep him on his toes. Like, he was telling me the other day that he feels like I'm a new character in a new eventful story every day, and I have all these side quests and missions that I send him to do. If you want that playful chase and pursuit, you can't have him feeling like the relationship is stale, that it's not fun being with you anymore. You always have to have this like element of positive surprise and mystery to you. He has to feel like you are your own person, that even though he has you, he doesn't have a hold on you. Be your sweet, loving, usual self. Be playful, fun, and flirty, but also be just a little bit of a headache with problems that he can help you solve. And then acknowledge, appreciate, and reward him. That really is the secret to building a strong relationship with him and getting him obsessed with you. That's all.
5 signs you are a placeholder and not his dream girl. First one, he's keeping his options open while entertaining other women, okay? He's very secretive with his phone because he's texting other women. He follows random women on social media. Second one, he keeps your relationship a secret. He doesn't post you on social media. Whenever he hangs out with his friends, he doesn't take you with them. He gives you low effort treatment and does the bare minimum to keep you around. Fourth one, he's not generous towards you. He prefers to spend money on himself, buying new clothes, whatever, than spending it on you. Fifth one, he's not romantic and doesn't go out of his way to show you love, okay? If this man doesn't have money, that isn't an excuse to treat you well, to be romantic, to write a letter, do something romantic for you. In the same way, he doesn't make you feel loved. He doesn't make you feel like he needs you, like he couldn't live without you. If this man is not adding any value to your relationship, it's time to leave.
Bestie, whenever you hear a man say that he doesn't want to be used for his money, that is a sign that he is ineligible to date you. The same man will want a beautiful, happy woman without putting in the investment. He will give you boyfriend air and suck the living life force out of you. He will take and take and take because he is banking on the fact that you do not know your inherent worth. He doesn't want you knowing that he derives status from your presence in his life and gratification from services using your body. I need you to realize that men who do not invest in women, men who do not protect and provide, they are users. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of, bestie. You can do better.
Bestie, just because you guys said you were exclusive does.
Yes, being exclusive literally means nothing. All it means is that this man is actually not crazy devoted about you and super excited about you, and he just wants to kind of put a placeholder in his life. So all it means if a man wants to be exclusive but not make you his girlfriend is that you're not a full body yes to him, and you're never going to get that level of commitment and devotion that your heart is truly craving.
What would you choose, money or love? How often have you heard this question? You're being programmed to think that you cannot have both. Moreover, when you are making this comparison, love is something so pure and good, which means the other side of the spectrum is almost evil, and if you choose it, it means you're a bad person. You know that in North Korea, all of the movies have the same playbook pretty much. All of the movies must represent a sacrifice for a country there, because that's the agenda there. But in capitalist countries, where everybody wants to be rich, it's an American dream. But we understand that in a system like this, not everybody is going to be rich. That's why what are we gonna do? We're gonna portray money as something bad, so people who do not have it know how to cope with it. They're thinking that by choosing love, they're choosing an honorable path, which means they have higher morals. And anybody who chooses money, it means they're corrupt, because people need to somehow cope. But in reality, you can have both. And by choosing love or by choosing poverty, you're not making anything romantic. There is nothing romantic about sacrifice, about suffering, and you can have both. And that's the reality. It's just we need those agendas so people know how to cope. But if you're rich, you're still enjoying the small things, you're still enjoying the sunlight, you're still enjoying the sky. You're just doing it in a 5-star hotel. So do whatever you want with this information.